RH blood group system. The RH system in this is the second most important blood group system in the transfusion medicine. This was first described in rhesus monkeys in 1940 by Lance Stanier and Weiner. Hence, it is called as RH system. First, it was discovered that injection of red cells of rhesus monkey into rabbit results in development of antibody against rhesus red cells. Later, it was found that the rabbit serum containing anti-rhesus antibody agglutinate human red cells. So this led to the discovery of RH system in human. RH antigens. In RH system, there are 6 antigens, but there are no naturally occurring antibodies. The antigens are C, D, and E, and small c, D, and E. Out of these 6 antigens, immunologically most active antigen is D antigen. Thus, in RH system, there are two blood groups: RH positive, that is D antigen present, and RH negative, that is D antigen absent. The gene for RH antigen is RHT and RHCE genes that are located on the chromosome number 1. The antigens of RH system participate in cation transport and membrane integrity of red cells. The RH antibodies are membrane proteins bound in red cell membrane, not in any other tissues. The RH antigen is inherited as a dominant gene. In Indian population, 95 to 98% are RH positive and only 2 to 5% are RH negative. RH positive individuals may have homozygous or heterozygous genotypes. Usually 60% of the RH individuals have uh, heterozygous in phenotype and 40% have a homozygous genotype. The genotype of RH negative person is homozygous DD. If one of the parent is homozygous positive and other is homozygous negative, all the offspring will have a heterozygous positives. Similarly, if the father and mother are homozygous negative, all the all offsprings will be homozygous negatives. And when one of the parent is heterozygous positive and other homozygous negative, 50% of the offsprings will have heterozygous positive and 50% will have homozygous negative. Okay, so this is how the possibility, if the father is homozygous uh, positive and mother is homozygous negative. Okay, so all the offsprings will have heterozygous positive. The antibody in the system is called as anti-D antibody, so which is produced only when RH negative individual receives RH positive blood. These antibodies develop very slowly in the first encounter but form rapidly following subsequent counter enters. The RH antibodies IgG type here, which can cross the placental barrier. Hence, if antibodies are present in mother's blood, it can be transferred to the fetus. The RH antibody is best reactive at body temperature and therefore designated as a warm antibody. RH incompatibility. The RH incompatibility occurs when RH negative individual receives RH positive blood. So normally when RH negative person receives RH positive blood, there will be no immediate reaction as RH negative individual does not normally has anti-RH antibody. However, the donor's red cell induce immune response in the recipients to synthesize anti-RH antibodies, which take about 2 to 4 months to reach the significant titer. However, by that time, donors' red cells die their natural death within 120 days. The anti-RH antibody cannot produce any harm to the recipient's red cells because RH negative recipient red cells contain no RH antigens. But if the same RH negative person who has already received RH positive blood before receives second RH positive blood transfusion later, The anti-Rh antibodies are synthesized in large amount immediately by memory cells. This antibody reacts against the donor cells and causes reactions of mismatched transfusion. Thus, the Rh negative individual can safely receive the Rh blood once in lifetime. The similar Rh incompatibility occurs in pregnancies when Rh negative mother bears Rh positive fetus, so which leads to erythroblastosis fetalis. Etiopathogenesis. This is a hemolytic disease of newborn which occurs due to Rh incompatibility when Rh negative mother carries Rh positive fetus during pregnancy. Usually no reaction occurs in first pregnancy. However, at the time of delivery during placental separation, a small amount of fetal blood leaks into maternal circulation. This induces formation of anti-Rh agglutinin in the mother. In subsequent pregnancies, anti-Rh agglutinin from mother, which predominantly IgG type, crosses the placenta to enter fetal circulation and causes hemolysis. In the third and subsequent pregnancies, the degree of hemolysis is going to increase. It becomes severe. The clinical features are mainly due to hemolysis. Hemolysis leads to anemia, extramedullary hemoptysis, and neonatal hyperbilirubinemia. If the hemolysis is severe, the fetus may die in utero. In the fetus is born alive, and he may have the following features. Anemia will be proportionate to the degree of hemolysis. Hemolytic jaundice occurs due to hemolysis. The bilirubin level may be more than 25 mg% in severe cases. Generalized edema occurs due to the whole body, occurs in the whole body due to the anemia and hypoproteinemia. So this is called as hydrops fetalis. Kernicterus is the neurological syndrome with a major motor deficits that occurs due to the deposition of bilirubin in the basal ganglia. Hyperbilirubinemia occurs due to hemolysis. The basal ganglia have more affinity for bilirubin. However, the bile pigments cannot cross the blood-brain barrier in adults. Therefore, hemolysis in adults does not produce kernicterus. As blood-brain barrier is not fully developed in fetuses, infants, and children, the bilirubin enters the brain and gets deposited in the basal ganglia. Therefore, hemolysis in infancy and early childhood causes kernicterus. The dysfunction mainly manifests in the form of motor dysfunctions. Extramedullary hemoptysis occur due to severe anemia, for which the erythroblasts, the nucleated red cells, are released into the blood. So erythroblasts are seen in plenty in the peripheral smear. Hence, the disease is called as erythroblastosis fetalis. About 50% of the fetuses and newborn with erythroblastosis fetalis have a mild hemolysis and do not require any treatment. In severe cases, major modalities of treatment are intrauterine blood transfusion, exchange transfusion, and phototherapy. Intrauterine fetal transfusion, if the disease is diagnosed in the fetus and found to be very severe, the treatment is intrauterine fetal transfusion. Presently, the fetal transfusion is carried out by intraperitoneal route, which has replaced the direct intravascular fetal transfusion. Exchange transfusion. The treatment of newborns with severe anemia, jaundice, and hydrops is exchange of transfusion soon after birth. Exchange transfusion removes sensitized red cells, bilirubin, and maternal antibody from the plasma. A double volume exchange transfusion replaces almost 90% of the infant's blood volume with antigen negative red cells. Blood chosen for exchange should be ABO negative, Rh negative, and cross matched against mother's blood. Phototherapy is very effective reducing the serum bilirubin levels. Erythroblastosis fetalis prevented by administering a single dose of Rh antibodies in the form of Rh immunoglobulin during the postpartum period following the first delivery. The disease can also be prevented by passive immunization of the mother with a small dose of Rh immunoglobulins during pregnancy. Other ABO blood group system. MNS is the blood group was first described in 1927. This system has three antigens M, N, and S. The antigens are expressed in red cells and endothelial cells of renal capillaries. The MNS antigens are major contributor for negative charges on the red cell membrane. The common phenotypes are M, N, Mn, and S. So this system is helpful in solving the paternity dispute. MNS blood groups are also useful in anthropological and genetic studies. The H system, the common antigen is H antigen. The expression of H antigen depends on the expression of ABO blood group, especially O. The blood group O having H antigen in the plasma or saliva are called as OH group or OH if H is not dominant. The gene for H antigen is FTU1 located on the chromosome 19. The H antigen present in the plasma, most body secretions like saliva, sweat, semen, tissues and epithelial cells accordingly, they are called as secretors and non-secretors. Levi system was described in 1946. This system has two antigens, LEA and LEB. These are not truly red cell antigens, but they are produced in the plasma and then are absorbed into the red cells. Antigens are also present on the body secretions and lymph. The gene for antigen LEA is FUT3, a gene located on the chromosome 19. The antigens of Levi system serve as a receptor for Helicobacter pylori. The antibodies are IgM type, so they do not cross placental barrier and therefore do not cause hemolytic disease of the newborn. The II system. The II system was first described in 1956. These two antigens in the II system, they are capital I and small I antigens. So these antigens are present in plasma, red cells, lymph and secretions. The II system differs from the blood groups in several ways. At birth, the I antigen is poorly developed, but the red cells of fetus and neonate are rich in I antigens. There are gradual changeovers from I to I, the capital I antigen, in the first 2 years of life. In conditions like hemoglobinopathies, red cells show increase in antigens without any decrease in capital I antigens. Physiological basis of blood transfusion. Transfusion of the whole blood or a component of blood is common in medical practice nowadays. The common is the transfusion of whole blood or red cell concentrate that are required for the treatment of acute hemorrhage and severe anemia. However, one should be very careful for the possibility of transmission of the infectious disease like HIV, hepatitis and other hazards of transfusion when the transfusion is given frequently. Indication for the transfusions are acute blood loss, chronic blood loss and bone marrow failure. Okay. So in acute blood loss, whole blood is preferred. Chronic anemia, packed cells are preferred over whole blood. The bone marrow failure occurs because of leukemia, aplastic anemia, bone marrow infiltration by neoplastic cells. So in bone marrow failure, fresh blood and specific blood components are required. The red cells are administered along with the granulocyte to resist infections. Okay, so also in case of purpura, where the platelet transfusion is preferred, in clotting factor deficiencies, fresh frozen plasma is preferred. In hemophilia, cryoprecipitate rich in factor 8 and fibrinogen is given. The preparation for surgery and during surgery, if the patient is anemic, the blood transfusion prior to the surgery, during major surgeries, the blood transfusion is routinely administered. The loss of 500 ml of blood is usually tolerated during surgery in a patient with normal hemoglobin prior to the surgery. If the blood loss is expected to be more than this, transfusion is always planned. Burns also, in burns, plasma rich in protein is lost from the burnt surface. So this is corrected with plasma and colloids. If anemia is severe, then packed cells are transfused. Usually in anemia, blood transfusion is not required uh, unless it is very chronic. Okay. So hemoglobinopathies like thalassemia, sickle cell anemia, blood transfusion is the cornerstone of the treatment. Repeated and multiple transfusion in thalassemia and sickle cell disease are not only aimed to improve HB content but also to inhibit erythropoiesis so that defective cells are not produced. So, however, the transfusional uh, hemochromatosis limits the usefulness of this treatment. How do you transfuse the blood? The first step in the transfusion is identification of a healthy and appropriate donor. Blood grouping for Rh and ABO types, both recipient and the donor, and cross matching of the both recipient and donor are the next important steps in all blood transfusion to ensure safety and compatibility. In mismatched transfusion, agglutination of red cells can occur recipient's blood leading to acute hemolysis which may be life threatening. Therefore, a suitable transfusion should always include selection of appropriate donor, ABO and Rh typing, cross matching, antibody screening of the patient. How to select appropriate donor? Healthy donors free from transmittable transmissible diseases should be identified for blood transfusion. Ideally, the age of the donor should be 18 years or above and should not be above 60 years. Donor should be voluntarily willing to donate the blood. The hemoglobin status of the donor should be estimated. There should be minimum of 12 gram percent hemoglobin in female and 13 gram percent is in male donors. The donor must be screened for AIDS, hepatitis, lymphomas, protozoal organisms like malaria and filaria. ABO and Rh typing. The two major blood group system for transfusion are ABO and Rh systems. The ABO incompatibility causes immediate reaction and may even kill the person. The Rh incompatibility causes delayed reaction, therefore ABO and Rh compatibility must be ensured before any transfusion. The concept of universal donor and a recipient help in this process. The blood group O negative persons are considered to be universal donor because their red cells contain no antigens. So therefore, their blood cells on transfusion to any individual do not cause any agglutination or reaction. Hence, blood group O negative can be given to any individual. Individual having blood group AB positive are considered to be the universal recipient because their plasma does not contain any antibodies. So therefore, they can safely receive blood from uh, anyone as they do not cause agglutination reaction against the blood cells. There are two types of cross matching, major and minor. In major cross matching, the cells of the donor directly matched against the plasma of the recipient. As it is important to ensure that antibodies present in the recipient's plasma do not harm the donor's red cells, so this cross matching is called as major cross matching. The ABO agglutinogens are highly antigenic and produce agglutination even in low concentration. Therefore, though the donor's red cells are less in quantity than the recipient, they produce agglutination reaction. In minor cross matching, donor's plasma is checked against red cell of the recipients. This is called minor cross matching because this is not very important to assess the reactivity of donor's agglutinin against recipient cells. So this is because small volume of donor's plasma is diluted in large volume of recipient's plasma. Therefore, agglutinin titer of donor's plasma cell fall to such a low level after transfusion that uh, they are unlikely to damage the red cells of the recipient. However, uh, for the full compatibility, minor cross matching should also be performed. If the patient who receives transfusion, his serum should be screened for various antibodies like autoantibodies, so that may react against the donor's cells and cause hemolysis. Therefore, it is ideal to do the antibody screening of the patient. How do you collect the blood? Venipuncture is done to collect the blood. Ideally, not more than 350 ml of blood is collected from single donor at a time. From anticoagulant vein, blood flows freely into the collecting bottle bag or contains anticoagulant. The usual collection time is around 7 to 10 minutes. The blood mixes with 50 to 70 ml of anticoagulant consists of citrate, phosphate and dextrose. So this is called as CPD mixture. The disodium hydrogen citrate is used instead of trisodium citrate as anticoagulant because this favors the fall in pH which is required for survival of red cells. The blood pressure and heart rate are monitored after collection, especially before they get from supine position. Normally, some degree of diaphoresis, bradycardia, hypertension, and dizziness accompany the bleeding. Donors are advised to go for a work for a rest of the day and should also be avoiding they should not go for the work and they should also avoid exercise. They're also advised not to donate blood for at least next 3 months. When the donor is the recipient himself, the blood is called as the autologous donor blood and the transfusion is called as autologous transfusion. Autologous transfusion was not practiced before. However, the HIV epidemic has increased the necessity and importance of autologous transfusion in transfusion medicine. So this can be done prior to the planned surgery. The hemoglobin of the person should be more than 12.5 gram per person. The blood is collected every 72 hours up to 72 hours prior to the surgery till the HB level has not gone below 11 gram per person. Usually 2 to 4 units of blood of 250 ml each can be collected, then the same blood can be transfused during the surgery. How do you store the blood? So blood is stored at 4 degrees Celsius. It should be ideally used within 2 weeks of the storage. However, blood should not be used if it is stored for more than more than 3 weeks because the gross hemolysis occurs after this period. Red cell changes during storage. Red cells undergo rapid changes during storage in simple citrate solution even at 4 degrees Celsius. During cold storage, the changes that occur are mainly due to the reduction of the metabolism of the cells. The changes are there will be increased sodium and decreased potassium concentration in the red cells. So this occurs due to decreased active transport of ions across the cell membrane. At low temperature, sodium potassium pump activity grossly decreased. Okay, so this results in net increase in the total base and water of the cell. So the inhibition of sodium potassium pump increases the intracellular sodium concentration that causes water to enter into the cell by endosmosis. Cells swell and become more spirocytic. This results in spontaneous hemolysis. Leukocytes and platelets almost totally disappear within 24 to 48 hours of storage. The ATP content in the cell decreases and inorganic phosphate concentration increases. So this is due to the imbalance between phosphorylation and dephosphorylation process in the cell. Changes in the stored blood after transfusion. Within 24 hours of transfusion, the cell metabolism greatly increases. Consequently, the sodium excluded from the cells and potassium drawn back into the cells. The volume, shape and fragility of the red cells come back to the normal within 24 to 48 hours. The cells show 80% of the survival uh, 24 hours after transfusion if the transfusion is given within 14 days of storage of the blood. But the survival rate greatly decreases if the blood is stored for more than 2 weeks. Therefore, it is advisable to use the blood ideally within 14 days of storage, though the blood can be used up to 21 days. The blood should never be used after 30 days of storage. So, hazards of blood transfusion, even an ideal condition carries a risk of adverse reaction. Most transfusion reactions occur due to the human error. The complication due to the mismatched blood transfusion are when an incompatible blood is transfused, the mismatched transfusion reaction occurs immediately. The reaction is primarily due to agglutination of donor's red cells followed by their hemolysis. So, this is called as acute hemolytic transfusion reaction. Usually, this occurs because of the ABO incompatibility. The severity of the reaction depends on the degree of hemolysis. Complications of mismatched blood transfusion are shivering and fever, febrile reactions, hemoglobinemia, hemoglobinuria, hemolytic jaundice, acute renal failure. Acute renal failure occurs because of the hemoglobin casks blocking the renal tubules and damaging the tubules. The release of toxic substances from the lyse red cells cause renal vasoconstriction and circulatory shock. Hyperkalemia occurs because of the release of calcium from the red blood cells, potassium. So this can cause cardiac arrest in diastole. Due to the faulty techniques, the following complication may arise. Thrombophlebitis. This is the common complication. Those who receive repeated blood transfusion. Air embolism. Air enters into the venous circulation and gets lodged at the outlet of the right ventricle and blocks the flow of blood to the lungs. Death may occur in severe cases. Use of plastic bags has reduced this complication. Due to the massive transfusion, this occurs when more than 10 units of blood are given within 24 hours or when the total volume is exchanged within 24 hours. So this leads to circulatory overload. The cardiac arrhythmias, even sometimes cardiac arrest occur due to high potassium levels in the stored bloods. Febrile reaction where patient feels cold and may get rigor due to the rise in body temperature. Okay, so this occurs mainly due to the presence of pyrogens in transfusion apparatus. Allergic reaction is less frequent and characterized by itching, erythema, nausea, vomiting, and in severe cases may lead to anaphylactic reaction. Some of the transmittable diseases are hepatitis, malaria, HIV, and syphilis. So this is in brief about the ABO blood group system, the RH blood group system, and about the blood transfusion and the complications of mismatched blood transfusion. Thank you.